be an angle as I possibly could. But anyway, we're getting onto the race now. The lights are out. And we are away. Are we? No, the lights came out. The lights counted down. And now we are. That was a bit weird. But anyway, we are now away. And LSW Legend had a very good start. JD Menz has gone completely backwards. As down the inside in turn 1, was that Mason Gammon trying to move? I think it's not worked out for him, but LSW Legend gains the position on JD Menz, who's had an awful start and down to P6.
Looks like they've all got through cleanly as well, Sam.
Yeah, that is what we like to see, although there's some intense battling in the background. I believe Moley was being pushed to the inside, perhaps by SLR. Oh, and he's completely gone. Oh no, that is a...
Caught up. I think Jack Marsh as well. It might have been contact between Leah and Moley originally that has caused that, but yeah, big pile-up, and Moley was just unfortunate, innocent bystander stuck in the middle of the track, and that front right tyre popped straight off after a bit of contact.
And we've got a full safety car from Moley's crash. A full safety car. It only shows up on my screen as yellows in sectors 1, 2 and 3, but I can confirm, because I can see the little safety car indicator on the screen, that we do have a full safety car.
Well, there you go then. I think that's quite nicely, the reduced safety car. Doing its job properly there.
Yes indeed. If the safety car was not deployed then
yeah,
I would strongly advise changing it to the standard safety car at least, because that is the biggest of safety car incidents you're ever likely to see. But unfortunately, that is Moley out before we've even finished sector 1. He lasted a whole of 4 corners. And with this lap 1 safety car, I tell you what I'd do if I was near the back. If I was someone like Mash or Jack, or especially one of those drivers who has damage, I'd be putting on a set of hards and risking going to the end here. Because you've got absolutely nothing to lose. And I mean, like, the hards are not that bad around this track on this game. I mean, like, they're not brilliant, but
they're not too.
But they're not awful.
Mediums, I don't think.
Yeah. And we are seeing a few drivers on the hards, and if you manage your tyres well, though some have gone softs interestingly, then you can make it to the end of the race from lap 1 on the hard compound tyres, a lap 1 safety car. I found that out because I was watching Jana Otme's co-op career video, and Jake Benham managed to make Tards last to the end of the race from a lap 1 safety car, and with 77% wear he said he had on the final lap. That was quite a good video. but yeah, it actually ended up being a pretty good strategy. So let's see what Bad Otter and Simon... Oh my god.
What's happened there?
Simon... Oh my god. Simon was trying to warm up his hard compound tyres, and he has completely blinned it on the end, just on the end of the straight. It's just on the straight, not even on a traction zone, just at the end of the straight before turn 4, Simon has completely lost it. He's been very overzealous in warming up his tyres, and the Ferrari driver is in the wall, and that is the second driver out. That is a head-in-hands moment for Simon 37M in the Ferrari car. Yes, he is out.
Yeah, not the start for a season here I've wanted.
Not at all.
I'm a little surprised actually that Adrian in P9 here hasn't pitted for the hards, or at least for a change of tyres. You'd like to think. I guess he's still hoping for an advantage on those softs, but
I think he would gain a bit of advantage on the... Oh, CSE Morris has retired in the pit lane, is that?
He's crashed, going to the pit.
No, what? Sorry?
It looks like him and South Raptor may have had a little bit of contact potentially. I mean, I'm only speculating there, but they were near each other on track, I think, before Morris has found himself
what on earth?
Looking backwards. Yeah, this...
What
I can't remember the last time I saw anyone at all in any race crash behind the safety car, and we've had 2 in the space of a lap here to start the Division 2 season.
This is, well, I mean, I do hope that is not a game issue, or potential desync that has caused, well, at least that Morris crash in particular, given how close the cars are running under safety car. It looks relatively fine, from my view, in terms of general connection of drivers, but yeah, I mean, that is a very, very weird start to the season. And South Raptor is disconnected. I'll invite him back to the game. But yeah, wow. Yeah, it's interesting. As I also noticed that SLR Mash, or Marsh, has pitted again. He did pit to put on the soft compound tyres under the safety car, and has now come back into the pits to put on the hards. Prez also put back on his hard compound tyres that he started the race on.
I like that. I like it a lot.
Presumably doing what we said and trying to go to the end of the race. And what's interesting here is that this could be a very late call for the safety car coming in.
Yeah.
Because Marsh is just about to catch up to the safety car. And the safety car is just entering the final corner. So it'll either be called in really, really late here.
I think it's too late now.
Or...
Oh, no, it's not.
Safety car in this lap.
That
is, yeah, as I said, that is a very, very late...
About as late as it could
one
have been.
So Scarborger, he's got to warm up his tyres quick and focus on the restart. And we are away now. SLR Morgan has timed that restart perfectly and is now side by side with LSW Legend as they're both trying to make a move on Scarborger. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1 here, are they? Mason Gammon's in there as well. Oh, they somehow managed to avoid contact and they're going 3 wide through turn 3. That's not going to end well. But somehow they're all escaping without damage there, and they're all keeping it relatively clean. Well done, lads. This is impressive driving. As Mason Gammon and LSW Legend, they're still going at it. They're still going side by side in the middle sector. And finally, it's calmed down, and Mason Gammon, LSW Legend, SLR Morgan, Scarborger are in P4 to P1 respectively. Wow, what a battle that was. Ooh. Yeah, that was excellent racing, and I have to say, fair play to all of those drivers for keeping it clean. Fair play to all of them. The South Raptor seems to be having troubles with staying in the lobby, as I tried to invite him to join back, but he's had to leave the session.
He sent me a message saying I have to retire, right? And I'm really confused if that's to do with his connection or what.
No, I invited him because he was. I haven't seen any connection issue that he has.
I haven't.
But anyway, going on to lap 5, Scarborger. He's gapped the DRS of SLR Morgan, so Morgan, Legend and Mason Gammon fighting, and ended up harming them a bit, as Scarborger has already broken the second, and Adrian on those soft compound tyres, he said he'd be making some moves, up into P6.
Yeah,
Charles Morgan and Legend still going at it.
No deployment of the battery from SLR Charlie there, I think he's just going through.
Yeah, I think that's a smart game plan, that is. But yeah, another thing that's a smart game plan is Scarborger decided to activate the afterburners, and he's broken himself from DRS. This is going to be very, very key here for this race. We said he had pretty good pace. The South Raptor once again leaves the session, so yeah, he's really struggling to get back into the session. It's not ideal. Yeah, so Scarborger pumped out a 2-second gap already. Let's have a look at the lead runner of the hard. Lead runner on the hards, Bad Otter TV, and he's in the DRS of the other 2 hard runners of Leah and Andrew. And that is very, very key. His gap to leader is 7 seconds-ish now. So if you can keep that around about 15 or less, then if he can make those tyres last to the end, Bad Otter could be in a really good position. The South Raptor's AI is causing a bit of havoc there, I think. Because he can't get back in. Oh!
Yeah,
his AI is just taken. His AI has just taken out legendary Danny D. That is an issue with his AI. I think, yeah, legendary Danny D has been taken out by South Raptor's AI. And so that is now the 4th driver who is out. No safety car, interestingly, for that crash, but...
Okay, my little surprise. That was a big incident.
Yeah. I think really that's just not ideal, really. AI taking someone out. I mean, I say it again. That's personally why, for my division, I voted for ghosting on, because you'd just be able to drive through the AI, and it wouldn't be able to bin you into the wall. but yeah. But yeah, so Legendary Danny D is out of the session. We now have 14 drivers left. I think we're gonna end up with less than 10 by the time this race finishes, given it's only lap 6 and we've got 14 left. Let's see what the closest battle is, though.
Looks like really big battle for P3 down.
Yeah, because Morgan's nearly broken DRS on Legend, actually. And has a lot more battery than the McLaren driver as well. Yeah, although he's still not showing the same pace as Scarborger. Scarborger has bolted. And Morgan, whilst he is clearly a lot quicker than Legend, and I think if he did break the DRS, he would gain a lot more on him. He is not quite living with the pace of Scar at the moment. And the hard compound runners are not too far behind, headed by SLR Lear. Although those stuck behind South Raptors AI, being Predators and MASH, are falling quite a bit back as the AI is going really defensive on the straight. That might actually be South Raptor back. I don't know if that's his AI or not. Because you can't actually see now because it doesn't let you show the gamer tags on whether they're connected or not in a spectator view, which is a little annoying. But anyway, the battle for P2 still rages on, and there's yellow flag and set to 2. Who's that that's gone? I think that's Charlie. Yes, it is. Charlie was running in P7 behind Adrian, but unfortunately is spun as Mason, Gammon and Legend are battling it out, as well as Morgan's gone. Oh wow! So suddenly, Morgan and Charlie from that group of cars had just lost it. That is not ideal at all for SLR. Morgan was running very, very well in P2, but now finds his way all the way down in P13.
Managed to rejoin the track safely though, which is nice to see.
Yeah. Very easy in that situation to lose your head a bit and do something silly,
but
it's not. Thankfully he's not.
Is that Andrew that's gone? Yeah, Andrew, out of the final corner.
Wow, another driver has lost it. That is... Yeah, this is absolute chaos here. This, if you wanted a little advert to show how hard this game is, how hard it is to get through a race without spinning.
Massive hit at the back of Morgan.
Hopefully Mash hasn't picked up damage from that.
I don't think he did, but they've both lost a chunk of time. And Predators is on for his drive for the day performance that Matt said at the moment. Right from the back, he's at T11 already. Going to the end, obviously, on those hard tyres as well. Doing a stellar job considering he's got a crap setup. Or at least that's what he was saying after qualifying.
Yeah. As Connor has said, Adrian, my goat, to keep it consistent and take an easy P1. Let's see whether Adrian can use that regular strategy to his advantage. If he gets a safety car around about now, Adrian, then that would be very, very good for him. As Charlie and Leah are going side by side, Charlie makes the move around the outside of turn 12. That's not a place you usually see drivers overtake, but Charlie and Leah had a lot of battles with each other last season in Division 3, and they've continued those for Division 2. And that is very, very nice, respectable racing between the two of them. Charlie retaking that position on his mediums after his unfortunate spin himself. As meanwhile, Mason Gammon has broken the DRS of Jamie Mentz here, so it's looking really strong at the moment. Is Mason? Oh, Leah's just hit the back of Charlie, and I was saying, And I was saying about how they showed each other respect with the battle. Unfortunately, Leah has made a bit of a mistake, and it's hit the back of Charlie. Although once again, he does show a lot of respect. And I mean, fair play to Leah. He spun Charlie, but has then slowed down and let Charlie back through. Obviously, did not have to do that, but recognised that was his clear error, braking later than Charlie, and has slowed down and let the Red Bull driver back through. I do like that decent bit of sportsmanship. It's good to see. As Bad Otter, one of the drivers who pitted on lap 1 safety car for those hard compound tyres, now finds his way to P6. 11 seconds off the lead, and those hards are going to keep on getting quicker and quicker. So if he can maintain this gap to the leaders, and if he can make those tyres last to the end of the race, Bad Otter is in a really strong position here. And anyway, he'll be able to take his hards a decent distance.
Yeah.
With good pace, he's looking really strong.
He's 11 seconds off the lead. Obviously, some you were saying if he's kind of within about 15 or so, then he'd be looking good. But obviously, I think as well, he's only about 8 seconds off of Mason in P2. So, I mean, at this rate, if he keeps it as is, even if Scar is able to increase that gap, he's still got a nice buffer to the rest of the podium places at the moment. So if he can keep it as is, Bad Otter could be on for a stellar performance. But yeah, obviously very, very early days still. Only 10 laps in.
Indeed. And of course, if there was a safety car in the next few laps as well, then the others would be forced to put on hards.
Yeah.
And Bad Otter would be able to put on a set of mediums as well. So with those hard compound tyres on, Bad Otter, he has his strategy open as well. As Mash picks up the first penalty of the race. And South Raptor's AI is looking reasonably quick, actually. Unless that's South Raptor back in.
I think he's back in the session.
I don't know. I
you
assume
can't
he
tell
is.
anymore, can you? You used to, well.
There was a setting.
Oh yeah, that's definitely him back in. He's just made a big slide. He's just had a big slide out.
Show gamer tag on.
That's got to be him.
Does that work? Does that work? Please say that works. No, it doesn't. I tried to put them on with a setting, but it didn't work.
It definitely is him driving. That slide out of turn 10, I'm pretty sure the AI wouldn't do that.
Yeah. The AI would just randomly lunge it on you in a braking zone, though. So that if he doesn't do that, then it's not the AI. As Adrian makes his pit stop from the softs. Yeah, I forgot about Adrian being on the softs, and he's going to put on a set of mediums to take them to the end of the race now. He's going to have horrendous warm-up, obviously, but he is now going to be able to get a decent undercut on those who started on the medium compound tyres. So this is the phase of the race where Adrian needs to pump in some really strong laps here, and yeah, hopefully for his sake, have a decent outlap. We're going to see with him how cautious he has to be in sector 1 on these medium tyres. You see, not even trying to remotely go flat through turns 1, 2, and 3. If I was him, to be honest, I'd be weaving on the straight here to try and warm them up as well. And yeah, you see a lot of understeer there. He's going to lose a lot of time initially, but once these sides are warmed up, he'll be pretty quick, Adrian.
Yeah, he certainly will. I think something else that's worth noting as well, Then, it's kind of gone under the radar a bit whilst everything else has been going on. Mason Gammon was 4.1, 4.2 seconds back from Scar a few laps ago. He's closing that gap in, and he's kind of bringing Men's and Legend along with him to some degree. But I'd say right now, out of those top 4, Mason Gammon is the quickest driver. Obviously, he's still got about 3.5 seconds to Scar in first, but if he can keep that up the rest of the race, he'll be putting the Alfa Romeo man under some pressure later on.
Yeah, Scar actually lost 2 tenths to Mason Gammon on that lap alone. Looking at that, Scar did a 33 flat, Mason did a 32.8. So yeah, Mason Gammon 05 in the Williams car has a lot of pace here. And yeah, Scar Borger potentially has a setup more geared towards qualifying perhaps, or maybe is feeling the effects of the tyre wear a lot more than the Williams driver. But whatever it is, Mason Gammon looking very, very quick at this phase of the race, and the fastest man on track, I would say.
Yeah, he's getting a heap of time in that first sector alone already on this lap, so maybe lower wings for the Williams driver is where he's finding his lap time.
Yeah, perhaps. As there's a yellow flag in sector 2, that was gone.
Morgan again.
Yeah, SLR Morgan, he was running really high up in the early phase of the race, but he's had 2 big mistakes, and yeah, that's what happens when you make mistakes. you go from being one of the fastest cars on track to all of a sudden outside the points, and Morgan has shown some really strong pace this race, but unfortunately for him, he has had one mistake too many and is now out of the points, so it's going to be yet another recovery drive for Morgan. So hopefully he doesn't lose his head and keep his pace strong for the rest of the race and can claw back some points.
Yeah, after such a promising qualifying as well in P5, it's not been a great start to this race at all for Morgan. Another 2/10. Mason took out a Scar's lead that lap. He can keep, he gained so much time. It's out of turn 2, sorry, especially up to that kind of short straight. He's doing a good 3 or 4 tenths at every lap.
Yes, Adrian
flying right
on those new mediums pumps in the fastest lap of the race. So there we are. We said Adrian would be a factor, hitting onto those new mediums, and he's gained half a second on both of the top two that lap.
I'd be a little surprised if he's a factor in this fight for the podium, but definitely top 5 sort of range, I think. If he can keep putting in those laps, I think he's just a bit too far back, really, even with the time he's going to be gaining.
Yeah, he's 31 seconds back from the leader, so yeah, realistically, he's only going to be looking as high as getting up into perhaps P4 or P5 once the leaders pit. As there's an overtake, SLR Marsh gets past WR Andrew.
Teammate.
2 AlphaTauris. Yeah, but Andrew's not full-time in the AlphaTauri, so I don't think there's going to be any team orders between them, but yeah, SLR Marsh, well, SLR Mash gets past it. Oh, Andrew's lost it! And it's Morgan. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! SLR Morgan has run straight into WR
And that's a safety
Andrew,
car, Sam.
and they are both out. That is a safety car.
Well, this is a very interesting one. It's at a horrible time for those winners on the medium tyres.
I think they have to pit for hards here.
Perfect time for someone like Bad Otto who can go on to Chaka's got a drive-through penalty. But yeah, Bad Otto can go on. Do you only get one fresh set of mediums?
Yeah, you do, yes.
You can go back onto the set of mediums, though, that they've obviously only done that one lap on. So he'll be fine. Everyone else around him will be going onto the hards or really trying to stretch out a set of soft tyres, which surely isn't the right way to go about it.
Yeah, the sauce will be absolutely screaming at you. And this is put SLR Leah right in the race on this fresh sauce as well. Or fresh set of mediums, I should say. And Adrian as well, actually. He's on a 3-lap old set of mediums, but he is going to be really strong on these tyres compared to those on the hards, at least at the start of the stint. As Connor puts in the chat, Sen, that gives me flashbacks. Yeah, referencing that collision that me and Connor has a couple of seasons ago in Division 1.
I know it's a painful one.
No. It's one I laugh at because it absolutely ruined Connor's race. And Connor still maintains that it cost him the championship that season as well. So there's also that. But anyway, let's see what these drivers do. I think they have to pit. They have to pit onto the hard compound tyres.
Yeah.
All coming in now. And the key thing for me is, does Bad Otter pit? I think the answer is a resounding yes. Because he's not going to gain any positions. And it's an opportunity to put on fresh mediums. Yeah, 100%.
Good man.
And there we are, Bad Otter. He's in the race, I think, here.
Yeah, they're all on the hards.
He took that risk with the mediums and the hards, and it's worked for him. This is literally the lap. This is literally the lap that I mentioned about the safety car earlier on this race that Bad Otter would benefit from.
It's come out at the worst possible time for those guys at the front. A few laps earlier, and obviously those hards would be fine. A couple of laps later, and you'd be looking at those softs and thinking, yeah, they can stretch them to the end and be all right. Bad Otter and Adrian, though, P5 and P6 on those mediums.
Yeah, this could definitely be one to look out for towards the end of the race. And another person who's going to be up there as well, SLR Leah. He is in P8 on a set of medium compound tyres, and and is potentially going to be looking strong to catch up to those top guys as well, I think. Yeah, that's completely shaken up this race. And if we are to believe that Mason Gammon has better pace than Scarborger as well, this safety car has closed them right up to each other. And suddenly Scarborger's got to pull that DRS. And if Mason Gammon has decent pace, which I'm pretty sure he does, this race for the win is not over.
And the tyre warm-up is going to be crucial here as well. Whoever can get those mediums into the working range. Because it's not always the easiest to do behind the safety car.
Indeed, especially those hards. Those hards are going to be awful to warm up, I imagine.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end of the safety car.
You can get into like 83, 84 degrees, can't you? And then safety car comes in and suddenly it's so much harder to keep the temperature in them when you've got that throttle limiter.
Yeah, definitely. It does mean you kind of have to like over-warm the tyres almost, and that just puts more wear into them. Although on the hards, that wear is going to be completely irrelevant, obviously, which is going to be perhaps a benefit for those on the hards. They're not going to have to worry about over-warming their tyres, and they're going to be able to get them as hot as they want without much worry. Although the mediums will be fine as well.
Yeah, and then I think as well on those hards they can push as hard as they like, as hard as they can until the end of the race. 13 laps, well, it'll be about 14 laps and 15 laps in total on those mediums, with a few bit on the safety car. For Bad Otter might have to do a tiny bit of tyre management towards the end, although I should think he'll be alright on them. Will. Yeah, Adrian will for sure. But interestingly, South Raptor has gone onto a set of soft tyres. Predators have pitted for the third time in 3 laps behind this safety car. He went softs to mediums, now he's back onto a fresh set of softs, which is probably not a bad idea actually. You can, I reckon now 12, 13 laps on those softs, that's just about as many as you'd like to do if you absolutely had to. I guess with his pace disadvantage as well on that dodgy setup, that's going to be his best bet at getting any sort of result here in this race.
Yeah, he's trying something different. Perhaps wants to keep out the safety car for as long as possible as well.
And not only that,
just so he can pit again.
There's been so many incidents, and he's kind of just fed his way through them so far, and it's been working for him.
Yeah, but anyway, we have 12 runners at the moment. 12 runners. That is. Well, welcome to SLR Division 2 at the start of this season. Because this is, I guess, start as you mean to go on, with lots of incidents. But yeah, we've also had some pretty good racing as well, as the safety car is still out, so Preds is going to be able to catch up. His risk of pitting another time has paid off because the safety car has not yet come in. As we're now on lap 17. Is Preds going to pit again? South Raptor is.
Do it. He's going to pit like 6 times in your face if he does it.
Oh, he's on the 5 stop. He's not on the 6 stop. South Raptor's on the 4 stop though.
He'll be stopping on the 6 if he comes in though. Oh, he's not. Disappointing. Oh, South Raptor's gone back onto a set of mediums, interestingly enough.
I think those would be the favourable tyre, those set of mediums, compared to the softs, although the softs will obviously be a lot quicker at the start of the stint. You're talking about the tyre warm-up. If the tyres on the hards don't warm their tyres up properly, then there's your 3 and 4 second advantage on that you said you'll see on the softs compared to the mediums on their out laps. But wow, this safety car really made things interesting, and possibly is not going to be the last safety car either. Is another thing we should point out. There could very well be another safety car by the end of this race, and suddenly another difficult strategy call for all of these drivers. But the safety car should come in this lap. Preds has caught up. South Raptor will catch up. And I'm going to try and just have a little bit of a peek at their steering wheels to see what tyre temps people are on. Don't know how accurate they are, but it seems like the guys near the front have not warmed up their tyres properly. This could be an interesting restart. That is for sure. As Pazuzu said in the chat, it's been an interesting race. Yeah, I think it has. It's been very unpredictable. We've not had too many passes near the front, but we've had lots of people making mistakes, and that's kept the racing interesting. Scarborger, when is he going to go? Is he going to go now? He's not gone yet. Legend has spun. Legend has spun under safety car from a podium place and has dropped all the way down into last position as we now go away for the start of this next stint. These guys are still weaving on the straight as Bad Otter and Adrian are going side by side through turn 1. Bad Otter falls the throttle. Adrian has an awful exit and loses the place to Charlie. As now Leah's going around the outside of Adrian. Is he going to make the move?
Just don't take each other out.
He's going to come back to the lead. We cut back to the lead as Mason Gammon up the inside of Scarborger for the lead into turn 4. Scarborger has lost the lead. He's kept it for the entire race, but Mason Gammon has made the move. And can the Alfa Romeo driver do anything about it? Or does the Williams driver have more pace in the race? Mason Gammon with a brilliant move up the inside of Scarborger. Caught him napping on that restart. And that change of lead made this race really interesting. Bad Otter showing some excellent pace at the moment as well. Already past a legend who spun. Oh, Bad Otter brakes too late. And there was a crash on the straight as well. There was a crash on the straight.
Yeah, poses a match. And weirdly enough, Marsh, whatever you want to call him, 5-second penalty for collision, which is something you don't see very often at all, unless you're buying the safety car.
Yeah, I think... yeah, I mean, if that was not his fault, then I think that is a penalty that can be removed. Yeah. I'm not sure because it's 5 seconds or up.
I'm sure I'll be seeing it later.
Oh, is this the division that you steward?
Yeah. Gonna have a long one, I think, tonight, based on this race, or well, not tonight, whenever we come around to looking at them. You guys
the long one tonight to put all the incidents in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack and Pred's in the pits. Obviously, with damage, Mash also has no front wing as well. So yeah, he is going to have to serve that 5-second penalty as well. So he won't be able to get it removed. That's enough worrying about his penalty.
Yeah,
as Mash has elected to retire in the pits.
I think this
That's
fight for the
interesting.
win is
I'm
going to
kind
go
of
down to
surprised.
the end here.
Yeah, I think it is. They've cleared off of Jamie Menz, but they are both looking about the same pace as each other. Looking at ERS, they've got roughly the same. I think Mason... I'm going to get the telemetry up just to be sure. Mason Gammon does have about 15% more, but Scar will have the advantage of DRS, the drag reduction system, between turns 3 and 4 on the next lap, and then potentially every single lap from then to the end of the race. So here we are then. DRS won't be enabled on this straight, but it will be enabled at the start of the next lap. And we could start seeing a bit of a battle for the lead here. Mason Gammon and Scarborger, I think, have clearly been the class of the field in this race. And as Mason Gammon sets the fastest lap of the race on those hards, they still have good pace, those hards, actually.
Right, 1.8, it's good time on the hards.
Yeah, it's a very strong time. As they both make separate mistakes in turn 1, but completely different kind of mistakes. As Leah picks up a time penalty. It's going to really hinder him, given how close that top 8 is. If he wanted to make moves on the mediums, then that is not going to help his cause there. But yeah, I think the key thing is with Mason Gammon here is that if he can replicate that time that he gained on Scarborger every lap out of that first few corners, then that could be the difference between Scarborger overtaking him and not. The Scarborger does look quicker in every other section of the track. but Mason Gammon has that advantage in Sector 1, and at the moment that's keeping him ahead. But the gap is now 3/10. Scar goes off the track there, potentially picked up a warning. I don't know how close he is to a penalty. It's another factor as well, I think. But here we are. Neither of them have any ERS. They've absolutely rinsed it. And this is going to be a straight fight to the end of the race here. You see Scarborger's light flashing. He's used up his ERS first, but now Mason Gammon's light is flashing as well. So here we are, DRS activated. But he's only gained about a tenth on the straight as the Alfa Romeo driver.
So much later on the brakes, though.
Yeah, but then Mason Gammon does get the better exit. And so stays ahead. And yeah, this is going to be real cat and mouse, I think, to the end of the race. There's Charlie as well, looking good for potentially challenging Menz for the podium here. As Charlie obviously had that spin earlier on in the race, but has managed it really well as the yellow flag, and that Scarborger's gone. Scarborger has had a spin from being in DRS and Mason Gammon for the lead. Scarborger has gone. He's at a moment, and he has dropped down into P5. So going from being top 2 all race to suddenly now potentially not even being on the podium. That is... wow. That is another mistake from one of the lead runners, and suddenly Mason Gammon is looking really comfortable in the lead. It's put Charlie on the podium, it's put Menz up into P2. And now Bad Otter's going to be chasing the podium position. From being right at the back in lap 1, he's had an excellent recovery. But yeah, it shows you can have good pace. But the key thing here in league racing with equal cars is that you mustn't make mistakes, because mistakes can punish you.
Oh, he's going to send it.
Here we go. Ooh, wheel to wheel. They leave each other a decent bit of room. Charlie still gives the space on the inside in case Bad Otter had a really good exit. But Charlie does keep the position. Yeah, I think so. I think Charlie also having that outside line would have helped his traction as well over Bad Otter. But yeah, this race at the moment, it's come alive here, and now Scarborger's going to try and make his way back through. He wants to, I think, at least recover a podium here. He can still go back up into his old position, as he is on the back of the train that's headed by Jamie Menz, but yeah, I think the chances of the win here are pretty much all but done here for the Alfa Romeo driver. As interestingly, Menz has broken DRS on Charlie, and so Charlie really now has to look behind him here for Bad Otter, Scarborger, SLR Leah, Adrian. And he does not have the benefit of that DRS, although I think he is just close back within it. That's straight. Yes, he does. He does have that DRS activated. So he's running a lot more straight line speed than JB Menz is. That's really helping him. The positions stay as you are. 7 laps remaining of this race. A Shutt medalist said in the chat, impressive pace from Mason so far. Yeah, I completely agree. I would say that he has had yeah, absolutely. I think for me, he's had the strongest race pace of anyone on the grid so far this race. I think he's been the fastest in race pace. And yeah, it's probably well deserving of that race lead, because he was closing on Scarborger before the safety car even came out. As now we're looking on, and I think someone's gone completely off the track there at the hairpin. I think that was South Raptor has had a bit of a moment. He's made a mistake going into turn 10 and has gone completely off track. As I can see in the chat, Corey is cheering on Mason Gammon in that Williams. Of course, in his joint constructors teammate. And I mean, looking at his positions gained, he's gained 5 places. Yeah, he's definitely my driver of the day. As we're now continuing onto lap 24, and Skarborger is in the wheel tracks of Bad Otter. He's looking to the inside. Bad Otter defends it a bit. Skarborger's going to try it round the outside of turn 1. But just completely runs out of road, runs out of room, goes too far wide, and Bad Otter keeps the position. And this fight is not over. We have a 6-man train here for P2, headed by Menz, all aboard the Menz bus for this final few laps of the race, as the Ferrari driver is just trying to get his car home. He's quick in all the right places to stay ahead of Charlie, and it's meaning that the Red Bull driver is having to look more behind him than ahead. So I can see Steve-O in the chat as well. Hello, Steve-O. He's cheering on his Joint Constructors teammate, Otter. So there we are. We've already got, only race 1 of the season, the love for the Joint Constructors teammates. I imagine if you did not have to be unbiased, you'd be cheering on J.L.E. Menz at the moment as well. For P2. In the Ferrari, as he's having a very strong drive. Oh! Adrian has had a massively good exit out of that third to last corner. He's gone down the inside of Leah. Oh, Leah squeezed him a little bit. And Adrian nearly makes the move stick on Leah for P6. But stays behind him. So what do you make of this battle here? What do you think? It looks like Menz gains a lot in the corners, but then loses a lot to Charlie on the straight. So it's going to be all about a mistake from Menz, I think.
I think, to be honest, it's kind of whole battle P2 to P5. I think what's surprising the most is the lack of pace that Bad Otter seems to have had since the safety car restart. Obviously, he's on medium tyres compared to everyone else in the hards, and he's just not made the gains that I think both of us were expecting him to make. He's been stuck behind Charlie ever since he made that mistake right off the start of the restart, and he's kind of paid the price for that, really. Now in this train, obviously behind Menz.
Yes, indeed. He's and even another medium runner as well, who's really not showing the pace that I thought he would as well, is SLR Leah, as he's almost completely lost DRS to the top 5. So it does show that after a few laps, these hards are pretty strong pace-wise, actually, compared to the mediums. They do have a decent bit of pace the longer you go on them, and there is a bit of wear in the medium compound tyre, which is interesting to know. As once again, Menz starts the DRS straight 8/10 clear of Charlie, but Charlie is now once again reeling him in. He's having to look from behind him. Bad Otter and Skarborg, are either of them going to try and make a move on each other? No, they're not. They stay kind of as you were. And we can continue with the race as is. And I'm surprised there's not been that many overtakes in this train. It shows these drivers are driving really, really well, and driving without making mistakes as well, which is such a key thing. Yeah, of course, given how many mistakes we've seen pretty much everyone make this, well, pretty much half of the field make this race, I should say. All the drivers that are out either due to mistakes or being caught up in incidents.
I think, to be honest, the only drivers I haven't really seen make any mistakes are Mason and Menz, who are 1-2 at the moment.
Yeah, of course, Charlie had his spin.
Yeah, he had a spin.
And he's made another one as well. Bad Otter going around the outside. Charlie gives him the run. And yeah, Charlie made a bit of a mistake there. He went too deep, and Bad Otter spied his chance and brilliantly made the move stick. Although I don't think he's going to get DRS here, so Charlie's going to have another shot on the start-finish straight to get back past him.
Ooh, big slide.
And Bad Otter has a wiggle out the final corner, and this is potentially going to open up Skarborger as well. I'm going to go on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, and is he going to try and use this to get past Bad Otter? It was perhaps a curse that he got past Charlie there, because not only has he not made the position on Charlie, he's lost the position to Scarborger, who had that DRS, and he's gone from being in P3 at the end of last lap to in P5 now, Bad Otter. And that is the difference, really, of those few hundredths of a second that he was behind Jamie Menzies' DRS activation zone, and that little wiggle that he had at the final corner. But here we are now. Mistakes creeping in as the tyres start to wear, as the nerves start to settle in the final few laps, as you start to try and up your pace to try and stay in the top positions or try and make gains. And yeah, that's when all of the action starts. As Charlie is desperately trying to get back in the DRS and Menz, but I think has once again got a little bit deep, and that potentially could open up Scarborger to make the move on him. If Charlie does not have DRS here on the start-finish straight, then this could be very, very important for Scarborger's race if he wants to get himself back on the podium. Because of the gap here, Charlie is using... He's not going to be in the DRS, I don't think. He did close into within a second, but I think that was after the detection. He does have the battery. He does have the battery, though. Does have the DRS, I should say. So he did manage to get within the second, just about. And that means that Scarborger cannot make the move. But Charlie runs deep into turn 1 here. Potentially try and... but stays ahead of Scarborger. And it's now kind of as you were, but with Bad Otter in P5 instead of P4.
Adrian's come into play as well, kind of out of nowhere, really. Just kind of grabbing onto the tail end of this battle. I don't think, unfortunately for his sake, he's in a position to make anything of it, but you know, if there's a mistake or an incident in front of him, he's going to be there to pick up the pieces, as is Leo and Sartharaptor as well.
Yeah, Adrian also has quite a lot of ERS as well, so yeah, he also has quite a lot of ERS, Adrian, so... And the others we've seen already are flashing their ERS lights, so potentially if he is able to use that extra battery that he's got, Adrian, potentially he could make at least one move on the final lap. As we're now approaching that now, Mason Gammon leads the way by 4.2 seconds here over JD Menz. But this is the battle for P3 that we want to watch, as Preds has had an off in the middle sector. But yeah, here we are, battle for P3. Charlie has a good exit relative to Scarborger. And it doesn't not look like the Alfa Romeo has the tools to get past. Meanwhile, Adrian... Oh, Adrian's made contact with Bad Otter on the straight. And Bad Otter's car is backwards in the middle of the straight. I think Adrian was a bit he's a bit unsettled by... Oh, and he's beached his car. I think. Oh no, he hasn't. He's... I don't know what Adrian's doing. But anyway, he's made contact with Bad Otter, and Bad Otter is out of the race, so we have 10 finishes, and Preds is going to score a point here in P11. Or in P10 now, once he makes the move.
That's the start.
Yes, he does. So there we are. That shows never give up, never quit. And speaking of never giving up, Charlie and Scarborger have not given up and trying to make the positions. Charlie runs wide once again. Is that going to open up Scarborger to make a potential move for the podium? Is he going to dive out the inside here, Charlie, with the 2 corners to go? No, he plays it safe. Is he going to focus on the exit here? He does. Can he make the move? Charlie's light is flashing, but I think Scars is as well. I think Charlie is just going to have the legs on him on the straight. One key final braking zone. I think it's all well and good. I'm going to go back to Mason Gammon, though, as he wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. JD Menz comes home in P2. Charlie does get that podium place. Scarborger in P4. SLR Leah, a very controlled drive in P6 as Southraptor gets P5 after being disconnected about 10 times. SW11 Legend in P7. Adrian currently in P8, although he is driving very, very slowly. I'm not sure exactly what he is doing. but he does come home in P8. SLR Jack is going to get P9 after a drive to forget, and Aero Predators, the final finisher, does get a couple of points for his troubles. Gets the fastest lap and gets P10 as well. But wow, what a drive that was from Mason Gammon in P1, and he is my personal driver of the day. Shark Medal reckons that is Bados's fault, the collision with Adrian. I'm sure it's one that potentially will go to the stewards. But yes, it's a hard one to see. It happened so quickly on the straight, and it's a really awkward place to crash as well. But yeah, can other people also get in your driver of the day votes as well? As I said, I've casted my vote already. But of course, honourable mentions have to go to the other drivers, such as Charlie going from P8 to P3, despite that spin. Jaylee Men's a very consistent drive. And SLR Leah gaining a decent amount of positions. Going to get the guys in the party though. We'll do interviews. Just waiting for them to join. So yeah, what do you make of that race? And what do you make for the rest of the season going by that one? Definitely going to be an unpredictable season, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think if the rest of the season is anything like that race there, then I think we're in for a bit of a wild one. Yeah, a lot of mistakes, as we kind of spoke about a few laps before the end. It was really only the top two that didn't make any sort of noticeable mistakes, and obviously they've reaped the rewards of that. Mason obviously going up from 6th to 1st, and Men's holding position in P2 after a bit of an iffy start off the line, but yeah, it's obviously very close, isn't it? The top four especially all looking particularly quick. I think this is obviously a bit too early to call on the championship or anything like that, but I'd say those top four are definitely the standout ones for me so far, and I think they all look like they're pretty close to one another, so it could be set up for a close season, and hopefully more than just a kind of usual two-way fight for the championship. It would be nice to get 3 or 4 guys fighting right at the front consistently.
Indeed. So how do you want to do the interviews then?
I'm easy to be honest, mate.
You do P1 and P2, and I'll do P3.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah. My voice hurts slightly, so I don't want to do more than one. To be honest.
I mean, I can do more.
No, I'll do one.
Alright.
Yeah, starting off with P3, obviously make sure you tick your boxes, guys. Is Division 3 champion SLR Charlie. Well, you came into the season with very little expectations. Weren't really sure where your pace would be, but showed some decent pace in practice and put it together, despite a spin, into a podium. So how do you feel about that one, mate?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the result, to be honest. I didn't expect it whatsoever. I had quite a disappointing qualifying. I couldn't get a lap in that represented like some of the times I was doing in practice. But I thought I'd go into the race and try and get as high up as I could. I got a horrendous start off the line, so I kept dropping places, and then had a few good battles. Obviously I got that tap from Leah which spun me, but he gave me the position back, so I won't obviously put anything in. And yeah, then the safety car came out, and obviously it was like the optimum lap, I think, to pick from mediums to hards. So I went on hards. Obviously a couple of boys behind me were on mediums, so I thought they'd just get straight past me, to be honest. But yeah, it was a good race. I didn't expect to be up there. Obviously a couple of crashes helped me get up there, and I definitely owe Men's one for the DRS. But yeah, well done to the other two, and Scarborger as well. That's his first race back in a while, and he had some unbelievable pace. So well done to Mason Gammon as well. I think that's his first win, I believe. But yeah,
indeed,
good race
and yeah. Another question as well is, do you expect that to be a one-time thing, or are you going to look to build on that first podium in Division 2? Obviously after your promotion, and make this more of a regular occurrence. Did look like you had some pretty solid pace out there.
Yeah, it'd be good to make it a regular occurrence, to be honest. But like I said before the race, I just didn't want to spin or end up in a wall, obviously. I've took a few assists off, so just trying to get my pace back to where it was and get the best results. So hopefully I'm here next week and the week after, but obviously it's not going to be like that. But I'll give it my best shot.
Indeed, and congratulations on the podium.
Thank you.
Alright then, we'll move on to the second place driver today. That's J.Lee Menz in the Ferrari. Started P2, finished P2, pretty solid day's work. Firstly, I just want to touch on the race start, dropping quite a few places, I think down to P6. Obviously not ideal, but then obviously just keeping it clean for the rest of the race. So yeah, just give us a few thoughts from yourself, mate, on how your race went.
I'm terrible at starts this game, so coming out 6th was better than I was expecting, to be fair. I was expecting to be 8th, 10th or whatever, so 6th isn't bad. Yeah, just kept trying to be consistent, something which I lacked all of last season, well, the last 2 years in SLR. Yeah, just kept it consistent, and then on the safety car restart, Scar and Mason just had way too much pace for me, so kind of conceded that battle. And then of course we had Charlie right behind me with all the medium runners, so just tried to work together with Charlie to make sure we had the DRS train so they couldn't get past Charlie to attack me. So yeah, decent P2 podium, and yeah, try and keep it more consistent this season. Only ways up from the last 2 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of ask the same question that Sam asked to Charlie here. Are you hoping that this is going to be the normal for the season, fighting for the podiums, fighting for wins? Is that your goal?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everyone's goal, but yeah, we really want to be up there this year. This is probably my best chance of getting more wins than that, but yeah, it's all down to if I can stay consistent. If I can, then definitely a title challenge is on the cards, but that's a big if. Well,
anyway, a fantastic start to the season for yourself and for the team of the Ferrari. Sorry, I had to get that one in there. We'll move on to your race winner. First win in SLR then from Mason Gammon. Started P6, taking home the win. Looked like you were the quickest man on track after you got up into P2 early on, and obviously after that safety car restart, lovely move to get past Scar, and then never really looked back from there. Looked comfortable out in the lead for the closing kind of 10 or so laps of the race. So yeah, if you just want to kind of give us a few thoughts on your race, I'm sure for the most part it was quite nervy, but also quite lonely at times.
Yeah, it was more hectic at the start than I thought it was going to be. I had a better start than I thought I would ever have. I got up into, I think it was P4 by the second corner. Oh no, it was P5, and then I think Morgan spun or crashed out. So when it got to the safety car, I put on the hards. I didn't think I'd be able to break DRS from Borger, and then obviously he did spin. So I just had to kind of keep it on track, and my hands had never been so sweaty. I can tell you that.
Well, starting off the season with a victory, there's no better way to do it. Is this going to be the start of a potential championship challenge, do you think?
Hopefully, but as you know, that is my first win. So you know, I won't mind if I don't contend for the championship. But if I just don't do what I did last season and have every other race be good, bad, good, bad, I just want consistency this season. I'll be honest with you. Because last season I bottled it. So this season I just kind of want to get a few more podiums and a few more wins, and I think if I'm up there, I'll be happy. I'm not too. Obviously, I want to win the championship, but if I don't, it wouldn't bother me that much. I just want to be up there.
I think that's a very good mentality to have and a good way of looking at it for the season. So yeah, but obviously once again, congratulations on your first ever win. Fantastic drive. Looked comfortable considering he hadn't won in SLR before. And yeah, I'm just going to quickly say as well, congratulations to the whole top three. It was a fantastic race on the whole, and I'll pass back over to Sem to round out the stream.
Yes, that was indeed a very enjoyable race. Very unpredictable, lots, and very, very close, I might add as well. I think that's certainly shaping up for what is going to be a very exciting Division 2 season this season. We've already had one first-time winner in Division 2 straight off the bat, and if that is the sign of things to come, then I'm thoroughly looking forward to the rest of the season. And as well, I don't think there was any major lobby issues either. So that's all well and good, and hopefully that means that there is not enough issues to mean that we can go ahead and race Jeddah next week as well. Very much looking forward to the Jeddah race. Completely different track to Bahrain next week, and please be sure to join us then. And join us tomorrow at 6 PM for Division 3, where we will find out who has the mettle to take over Charlie's championship crown from last season. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to SLR Jam for joining me. And have a nice weekend, everybody.